Hello and welcome to Community Chats. I'm your host, Aley Hammer, and today we're interviewing Alexis Rouch, the CTO of Class Limited. Alexis, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you start by telling our audience a little bit about Class Limited and what it is that you guys do?
Well, we're a young fintech SaaS company, and we're in scale-up mode. So Class disrupted the market about 12 years ago with the first cloud-based offering of a self-managed super fund solution in Australia. And essentially the core of our offering is a combination of complex rules-based engine together with data aggregation. So we pull data from all over the fintech, all over the financial services sector. So from banks, from foreign exchanges, from wrap platforms, that kind of thing. And we're busily growing. So we're no longer just an SMSF solution business. We now service across the financial services sector, largely in the wealth accounting market, but we really try and automate and simplify operations across that sector. And our customers are accountants, financial advisors, lawyers, auditors, a whole range of players across that space. Not typically known to be kind of, leading edge in the digital sector, but hey, look, the whole COVID-19 experience that we're all been through has certainly accelerated that change. And we've been really focused on just trying to help our customers go through that process and simplifying their processes, connecting them with their partners, their end clients, and ultimately their data too.
Well, Class has made some large acquisitions over the last 18 months. So who are some of the companies that you've acquired? And from a tech point of view, what have been some of your biggest tech challenges to date?
Well, hey, in the last 18 months, we have been growing incredibly quickly. We've done 4 acquisitions in that time, at the same time as launching products to market and all the other normal stuff. These acquisitions, they've been in the legal documentation and corporate compliance space, so building out our offering for our customers. And look, they've been 4 different businesses with 4 different tech stacks. So we started with Now Infinity in February 2020. That was our kind of beachhead into this space. And then since then, we acquired SmartCorp, ReckonDocs, and then TopDocs. And that was TopDocs just in the last month. So that's a very recent one. And look, they've all had their own challenges, different tech stacks, different challenges. And the first thing you have to face into, of course, is do you even have the skills in-house to manage those tech stacks, right? Because they're all on different, a whole different range of kind of combinations. And also, we're a ISO and ASE accredited business, which is actually really important for our customers. Might not sound sexy, but actually is really important because our customers really need to stay compliant, all the time. It's the nature of our business. So when you acquire businesses with different, coming from different places with different risk appetites and different kind of maturity in their stack, something that we have to face into really quickly is security and reliability. We've got to make sure that, as quickly as possible that we can make sure that we can actually run those tech stacks and keep them running. So, pretty much as soon as you get hold of the keys to the company, that's something we have to focus on. So that's been a real priority. And then, of course, in the meantime, we've got customers who are rightly, fussy and don't always like having their choices taken away from them. Even if we think we can move them to a much more functionally rich product set, we still have to really focus on engaging our customers and making that a fantastic experience. And look, that all sounds like motherhood statements, but in reality, there's small moments of truth can actually really make a big difference. And when you've got an already really full delivery agenda, because we're building out products and we're doing a whole range of other things in parallel, you've got to find space to really make sure that you're also addressing the needs of these new customers to your base and creating space in your delivery roadmap. So that's been a bit of a challenge. And then last but by no means least, when you acquire businesses, it's not just about the tech, it's about the people. ultimately it's the people that make it work. And we've really focused on the whole kind of building out our class culture. It's something that we feel very passionately about, and it's been quite a challenge because the first acquisition we did in February of last year, a month later, the entire country was in lockdown. So we had to face into having teams that hadn't even met each other face to face across 3 different states in Australia, 2 different continents, because we had a team in Europe as well that I actually still haven't met face to face, our team in Ukraine. I'm really looking forward to it too, because it looks very beautiful over there. So that's been a real challenge, and I started at the same time. So a number of these people, even in a team in Sydney, I hadn't actually met face to face when I first started and first went into lockdown. So that's been quite a challenge.
I mean, it's definitely a challenge, but I do feel as though the last year, we've all been working from home. So in some ways, it's kind of the new normal. And Alexis, moving on from this a little bit, I know you are so passionate about diversity and inclusion. So what is Class Limited doing to drive more diverse teams? And what do you guys see, as a competitive advantage in this space?
Look, I do really feel passionately about this. I think diverse teams really are a competitive advantage. I think, and we're very proud of our talented and diverse team. We have people from all different cultures and experiences and backgrounds, and we love that about Class. I think when you can really harness that diversity, you really can encourage, that innovation and creativity to really flourish. And so it's really about making it a great place to work for everybody. I think that's the focus. The world is diverse and tech should be also, right? So look, we have really invested in this space. It starts with recruitment. So we are proactively targeting talent pools that aren't just your mainstream ones. Maybe it's people who've been out of the workforce for a while, or people with a kind of non-standard background. We've looked at our ads and made sure that they are as inclusive as we can with, gender neutral language, that kind of thing. Actually does really make a difference in terms of the kinds of applicants you get. So it sounds simple, but it's actually really important. And we've been working with our own teams, just, holding ourselves honest around any biases we might be coming into the process with. And look, it really shows in our results. I mean, we've increased, just as one example, our female composition in the tech team alone in the last 18 months has increased by 40%. So, but as well as that, we're investing really heavily in our career development and our, skills development. I think that's really, really important. And that, again, works for everybody, including, our AWS partners doing a fair bit with AWS. And look, we've got some great success stories. We've had people, it's not just about, rising up the skill ladder within your own discipline, but it's also about giving people opportunities to potentially move across the spectrum. So, we've had testers move into developer roles, we've had developers moving into DevOps or into product management. It can be a range of things. I think that also gives you a really well-rounded team to draw from. So, and then as well as that, we're I guess like a lot of us in the industry, but it is something we try really hard to invest in people's well-being. And we think about it across 4 different pillars: financial well-being, physical well-being, mental well-being, but also social well-being. So we invest in a number of programs around helping, for example, people who've recently become parents, or even more so parents with school-aged kids. There's a few of us around how hard that is in the current environment with homeschooling. So just trying to provide as much support as we can across the spectrum for everybody, regardless of kind of what background you might have come from.
That's really incredible, and you should be so proud of your talented and diverse teams and all the investments the company is making in this area. It's definitely something that we're all learning at the moment, so it's really impressive that you're on that journey. And I often, even me interviewing, I sometimes say the words guys, or it's just really nice to even have a female on the show. So yeah, it's something that works. So Alexis, what is next for Class? Are there any exciting projects your team's working on that you could let us in on? Because I guess when you think about your journey and the fact that you've acquired 4 companies already in such a short time, I'm just interested in what's coming up in the next kind of 18 to 24 months.
Yeah, well, so we've got, because we've got so much on, we're really transforming at speed. So we're not only transforming our tech stacks, our underlying tech stack, we're from top to bottom, from front to back. So we're using microsites and microservices as we build that out. And we're really focused on how that can give us what I call strategic agility, that ability to really, be able to plug and play. It gives us that kind of optionality. Who knows what the future might hold. So that's really important. We're also building out our data platform using Snowflake. So we feel like we have a real asset with our data, and that we can provide a lot of value back to our customers. And it's not just about the data for them, about their customers, but even just their own business operations and how they can become more efficient and effective as well. We've got a lot of data around that. But it's not just the underlying tech stack that we're transforming. We're also transforming the way that we deliver our technology. So we've done a lot of work in the last 12 months in particular with improving our whole product development delivery pipeline with Agile at Class, and really also focusing about how we underpin that with strong engineering disciplines and operational disciplines. I think that's just really important, as particularly in our environment where we're less risk averse potentially than some other businesses, and we need to make sure that as we transform, we've really got that discipline that we're trying to push for speed to market, but we also need to make sure our systems are secure and stable as we do it. So really underpinning it with that kind of engineering and operational discipline is really important. But as well as that, we're really excited about what we're doing in the innovation space. So this is something that we feel really strongly about, that at the end of the day, we're technologists, and part of our reason for being here is to drive innovation and think about how we can make things much better. And I really feel that you have to kind of build that in. You've got to think about innovation systemically. It's not the kind of thing you can just, occasionally have that brilliant idea in the shower, but really if you want to build a culture where people feel like they can bring that innovation to work, then you need to build that into your processes. So we've launched a program we call Ignite at Class. And it's where we give our teams a day a month where they literally drop everything and innovate. So it's a whole of business initiative. We stop all the meetings, all the sprint work, all of the other kind of day-to-day stuff, and we spend that entire day together learning or innovating in groups or alone. And it's really about how we can bring out those ideas. It's like little mini hackathons once a month. So it's super exciting. And then on top of all of that, we're still in the market for, we're still growing. So we're still in the market for people we might partner with or get together with. And we're also looking at options where we might expand overseas. So not to mention all the great innovations that's going to drive all this great product development that we want to do too. So it's definitely going to keep us busy.
Well, you definitely sound busy, and I'm so inspired by this chat. I'm sure our audience will be very inspired, and it's really cool to see a company like Class Limited that's so open-minded and open to diversity and inclusion and tech and innovation. Like, you guys don't stop. So I don't know when you get any sleep, but it's been really great to have you on the show, Alexis. Thank you so much. And if anyone at home has any questions about Class, please pop them in the comment section below and we'll get back to you. Thank you so much.